नमस्ते बेटियों, आप खुश रहिए। आई JVM Muskan Kumari from the Department of Science and Technology, and I'm working here as an assistant professor in JVWU Women's University and the Faculty of Education and Methodology. So today, in this session, I will discuss with you the switching concepts. What is the concept of switching in the computer networking, and what is the role of switching during the communication of the data between two nodes or the systems? Isn't it? So to discuss this all the things, we are just going to share some files with you which will help you to better understand, isn't it? So hold 1 minute, I'm just sharing that files. Yes, here is the files. Switching. What is the switching? When a user accesses the internet or another computer network outside their immediate locations, messages are sent through the network of transmission media. It means, what does this mean? When a user accesses the internet or another computer network outside their immediate location, the messages are sent through the network of the transmission media to you that you are just out of network. Clear? And when we talk about the transferring of the data, so the techniques which is used for transferring the information from one computer network to another computer network is called the switching concept. Clear? So switching in a computer network is achieved by using the switches, and a switch is a small hardware device which is also used to join multiple computers together with a local area network. Now, if we talk about the switches, network switches, so it is operate at layer 2, data link layer in the OSI models, isn't it? Switch is the transparent, switch is transparent to the users and doesn't require any configurations in the home network also. And the switches are used to forward the packets which is based on the MAC address. And if you talk about the switch is used to transfer the data only to the device that has been addressed. It verifies the destination data to route the packet appropriately. It is operated in full duplex mode also. Okay, so now if you talk about the why switching is concept required in the data communication. Switching concept is developed because of the following reason. First will be the bandwidth, another will be the to resolve the problems of the collision. If we talk about the bandwidth, then we can say that the maximum transfer of the cable, and it is very critical and expensive resources. Therefore, switching techniques are used for the effective utilization of bandwidth of a network. Suppose the maximum transfer rate of cable. Your transferring rate is the maximum maximized by the your cable's bandwidth, isn't it? So what will happen? There is no any path for transferring that data packets from source to destination. So what will you do? You increase the bandwidth of the data packets, bandwidth of the data packets, no, bandwidth of the communication channels via which you can transfer the high loaded data packets through that high bandwidth of the communication channels to the destination. Clear? So if we talk about the collision is the effect that occurs when more than one device transmits the message over the same physical layer via physical media, and they collide with each other. To overcome this problem, switching technology is implemented so that packets don't collide with each other. Clear? We can again define this to by one example. Suppose you are transmitting some data to the destination side, then what will happen? The bandwidth of that communication channel is very low and your data packets is high than your capacity of your bandwidth. Then what happen? Your the bandwidth or the communication channel uh, crush or there may be some problems arises during the transmission. They cannot transmit your data successfully, isn't it? So you are, what will happen at that place, then you try to choose the another path to reach your data packets from source to destination. Then you are switching to the another route, isn't it? Or either there is one more there is one more solution will be developed, like what, you will increase the bandwidth of the communication channel. Collision is just occurring due to this reason, that suppose the bandwidth of the channel is high and you are transmitting the data packets into the segmented form, one by one. So in case you are well known aware about this, that first segment hasn't successfully reached to the destination, but till you are sending one by one data packets over the communication channel, so there might be some problems arises here due to the less capacity of the bandwidth as compared to your data packet segment, isn't it? So the collision may be generated, or the noise will be generated at that communication channels. And for this reason also you are using the switching. The advantage of switching: switch increases the bandwidth of the network, and it reduces the workload of individual PC, and also send the information to only that device which has been addressed. Now, if you talk about the what performance, so it increases the overall performance of the network by reducing the traffic on the network also. There will be less frame collision, as switch creates the collision domain for each connections also. Okay, so now if you talk about the disadvantage of switching, so switching is expensive in the network reasons. Switch cannot determine the network connectivity issue easily. Proper designing and configuration of switch are required to handle the multicast packets. So there are several switching techniques. What will be the switching techniques? In the computer network, there can be multiple paths from sender to receiver. The switching techniques will decide which path or route will be the best for the transmission of the data packets. So the first is the circuit switching. Circuit switching is basically what? Circuit switching is a technique that establishes a dedicated path between the source to the receiver. In this circuit techniques, once condition is established, then dedicated path will remain exit until the connection is terminated. Now, if we talk about the circuit switching in a network, that is operate in very similar way like the telephone one. Okay, so in case of circuit switching, when any user wants to send data, voice, video, and request signal is sent to the receiver, then receiver sends back the acknowledgement to ensure the availability of the dedicated path. After receiving the acknowledgement, the dedicated path transfers the data. So this is basically happening of the circuit switching. Here the fixed data can be transferred at a time in the circuit switching. You can see here that the A and B. A is the sender, B is the receiver. So there are multiple channels will be generated here to send the data packets from one to another. Okay, so communication through the circuit switching has three phases. First, establishment of the circuit, then data transfer, and the circuit disconnected after the successfully delivered. So second will be the space division switches. In the space division switches, this is a switching technology in which a single transmission path is accomplished in switch by using the physical separate state of the cross points. And space division switching can be achieved by using the crossbar switch. A crossbar switch is a metallic cross point or semiconductor gate that can be cable enabled and disabled by a control unit also. The advantage of will be the circuit switching is that in case of circuit switching techniques, communication channel is dedicated and it has the fixed bandwidth. And disadvantage will be once a dedicated path is established, the only delay occurs in the speed of the transmission and nothing will else with that dedicated path. It takes the too long time to establish connection across 10 seconds, during which no data can be transmitted, and it is also the more expensive than other switching techniques. Okay, if you talk about the message switching, then what happens? Message switching is the techniques in which message is transferred as complete unit and routed through the intermediate nodes at which it is stored and forwarded. further. So in message switching techniques, there is no establishment of dedicated path between sender and receiver. The destination address is appended to the message. Message switching provides a dynamic routing as the message is routed through the intermediate node also. And message switch are programmed in such a way so that they can be provide like the most efficient routing, isn't it? Each and every day stores the entire message and then forward it to the next one. This type of network is also known as the store and forward network. If you talk about the message switching, treats each a message as an independent entity. Like here, this is the source, this is the destination. You can see that message 2 is passing by using these channels, and one will be the this, okay, and one will be here. You will come here, here, then here, and then here, again here. Okay, so there will be the multiple paths to forward that data packets over this network. So the advantages of the switching will be data channels is shared among the communication devices, and which improve the efficiency and available of the bandwidth, and traffic congestion can be reduced due to the message in temporary store in the nodes. Message priority can be used and manage the network also. The disadvantage will be the switches must be equipped with the sufficient storage to enable them storage the message until the message is forwarded. Long delay can occur due to the distorting, storing and forwarding facility provided by message switching techniques also. Now, if we talk about the packet switching, the packet switching is the switching techniques in which message is sent in one go, but it is divided into a smaller piece, and then they are sent individually, isn't it? So the message splits into a smaller piece, also known as the packet, and packet are a given unique number of identity. Their orders are receiving at the end. Every packet occurs the some informations in the header such as the source address, destination address, and the sequence number. This three is the must. Isn't it? Total length of that data packets. Packets will travel across the network, talking the shortest path as possible. Okay, so you can see in this example, they are choosing the here is the messages, and these are divided into the segment of the message. Here you can see two packets is here, two here, and then after that they are also transferring the packets, like one is here, one is here, isn't it? Or this is one will be there, one will be there. Okay, now again this will come here, and here the data packets come to this ones. This is again the distributed here and here. Then this is routing over here, and these two are coming just in this way. Clear? So what will happen here? When this is coming towards this one, then uh, the these two packets is combined with this one and becomes the three. And when they come here, then one is also coming here, their segment of the data packet is here, then they all are combined and makes the formation of the data packets. Clear? So if you have any problem regarding this session, then please share with me your query via dropping your query into the comment section box, through which I will solve that query with you in the next session. And if you have any problem in this session, then also please refer multiple standard books and online websites through which we can easily understand, you can easily understand these all the things which I have discussed today. Okay, and many questions will arises from this, like what do you mean by the switching, how many types of the switching, explain this switching, isn't it? So then you have to write the concise, only point to point answer. Clear? Okay, and in the next session I will discuss the next topics. That topics will be like your smtp smtp protocols. Okay, thank you.